Hey, good morning, everybody. Just wanted to show you the map that we created and discuss the ecological restoration design project for Luna Community College that we got started on Friday. And I think I've got the map together, and I just wanted to show you an example of the approach, which is to observe and then analyze opportunities and constraints, and then develop a design that prescribes some actions. So here is an approach for doing that. I wanted to share the screen here and give you an opportunity to see what the map looks like, and when you put all that together, how could you create a design using Google Earth. So here we are. This is on Luna Community College, and you can see the drone image that we captured by creating the flight path and program for the drone. And you can actually, the first step is to observe, and there we are observing. You can see several of us standing right there at this outfall for stormwater coming off mostly impervious surfaces, all these buildings and parking lots. And you can observe there's a pour over there with some cement. And then right after that, it drops a little bit over a foot, and it gets pretty deep, maybe 2.5 feet deep on a terrace that goes for about 18 feet. And then it just starts dropping. And you can see they've been trying to reduce the erosion issue by throwing in sticks and rocks. And there's areas where it's actually still pretty eroded, but then there's areas with grass. There's overflows on this side too when the surges of stormwater comes really fast. And even right here, you can see some erosion happening from recent storms. And then it makes a little curve. The vegetation does seem to be holding it. And there's some desirable plants like the rebis, the currant there. And there's obviously some trees there that are desirable. But then you get to the bottom where there's a really deep gash being carved. You can see that the contributing area is pretty large of the stormwater, where it's all impervious. We could actually go back and really analyze that to see how big that area is, and see how much in a 1/10 of an inch storm, how much water would be coming off there, which is about 90% of our storms are 1/10 of an inch or lower, but sometimes they'll get 1/2 inch to an inch in a short amount of time during an intense storm. So how could we make some more observations? Well, of course, we did look at we measured with the laser level, the longitudinal profile, and there's the top right there, essentially right where it pours over right there. And it drops about 1.25 feet really fast, and then it's flat for a while, probably about 18 feet, and then it begins to drop quickly, going down at these different points that we measured with the laser level. And then, of course, so there's generally it's about a 30% slope, I think we calculated, which is really kind of just at the edge of the angle, what they call the angle of repose for soils. And then it really gets deep right there, and it drops down probably in a short amount of time. It's dropping 4, 5, 6 feet until this point right here. So we've got different soil erosion factors. There's different hydrologic water factors, and there's different vegetation factors that are going to be part of the solution here. And so what we could probably look at, as I thought about it more, since it does drop really fast right here, but it's flat, one idea is to look at removing some of the cement, and potentially what could happen is a detention basin, just slowing the water, take that storm surge, could be built. And then there's a lip right here. So this might take hand excavation. It might maybe more efficient to be with a backhoe to break off some of the cement and you create a little detention pond here that essentially slows the water down and gets it to sink in the ground instead of having it rush off. A detention basin is probably a good idea. I think what we can do with that is make it about 36 inches deep in the middle of it, and then fill it with something that would essentially become like mulch, and so that water really soaks into the ground. Not sure why that's not showing up as a line right now, but essentially something about that size. It's also possible that this area of the parking lot right here where this car is, it might be possible to go ahead and build another detention, take just one of these parking spots right here and take it and make a detention basin here, because there's also runoff happening. You can see in this area of the corner of that parking lot, another detention basin, and that could essentially hold that water. I think this is because it's the super overlays overlaying everything here. Let's see if I move this up here. If it shows up. No, it doesn't. But this area right here could have a detention basin. And essentially it's storm surge protection. When those first rains come, and if it's intense, it'll slow that water down and sink it. And then we talked about building structures within the channel that's there. We wouldn't want to lift that channel out. We want to keep the water in one place and move down here to the point where I think we talked about building a large rock rundown at this big head cut, which is probably going to continue migrating uphill during this time of climate change where we get really big storm flows. There's constraints here. Somebody might object to using a parking spot, but from what I'm seeing here, there's not many people parking in that parking lot, at least right now. So that'd be something to look at in terms of the constraint. If we are able to put together some stormwater detention basins here, we might be able to use less rock here because the water coming off may have less energy and power and quantity coming down there. So yeah, I just wanted to walk you through this, how to look at this map, and you can set it up so you can do drawings right on top of it. Thanks you guys for the good work you're doing, and I just wanted to check in with you and say good work. I'll post this to YouTube, and so you can take a quick look at it just to see, since we didn't get a chance to look at that image together. So thank you very much, and we'll see you guys soon for your presentation. Bye.